huge.
These leaders are very sick.
Good evening, everyone. I'm This tragedy strikes the LAPD. The coronavirus has taken the life of an officer. He had been fighting for his life since May. He was live outside St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, where the officer lost his life.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be America first. America first. And only America first. And I say, really, you know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.
How has it been, ladies and gentlemen? Mostly gentlemen, I see you in the chat. Welcome. First of all, this is the Nav channel. This is not my channel. And we do have, a long lost guest in the studio today. How are we doing?
Oy vey, it's good to be back, everybody. What's up, guys? Happy to be with you on what's today? Friday? Yeah.
Friday evening,
afternoon.
dude.
Yeah, Friday evening, really. Talking about all kinds of stuff. Dude, it's been crazy, but it's also been a super long time. Like the past year,
Laura,
I was here
Laura.
every day. I was here every day, and now I'll go like weeks without coming by. And then when I come by, it feels weird.
Yeah.
It's like
you've been gone forever.
Yeah.
It really hasn't been that long. Okay, Laura said she's here. Okay, lady and gentlemen.
What up,
but-
Bree?
What are we diving into today, Josh? We got a couple call-ins. We cover Josh's show every once in a while, but we're gonna dive into it a little bit heavier today because obviously the MAGA base is just losing it, Josh. They're losing it. What's going on? There's been this split, but this really and I think Owen put a video out earlier today, maybe it was yesterday, talking about how the Trump could have overcome a lot of this stuff, but really what it all boils down to is he's not going to be able to overcome Iran. Like that is the catalyst, it seems, going forward. We're going to take a look at some of those phone calls today. Some good old fashioned grassroots, the real base, get a feel for what's actually going on out there because you see all these things online, we're on Twitter, on YouTube, it's all kind of loosely filtered. A lot of this is unfiltered and people feel safe when they get on here. So we're going to make them unsafe.
Absolutely. That's the case, dude. Okay. So word of encouragement, because we've talked a lot, like, what has it been? It's been over a month now since the Iran war started. And when I've come on the shows to discuss it, I've basically been saying that I was caught off guard by the boomer response. I thought the boomers were going to be coping. The boomers are celebrating. Like it turns out the boomers were never against the Iraq war in the first place. Trump's rhetoric in 2016 about how the Iraq war was a mistake, the boomers, I guess, just kind of swallowed that in favor of the rest of Trumpism. So the boomers are retarded. The boomers are evil. The day of the pillow is at hand. We were too hasty in getting rid of COVID. We should have let it run its course with these people. But it does seem, Zeb, like the moderates, who I hate, But the moderates are kind of coming around a little bit. Like the Iran thing, the way it's being handled
Define moderate.
is well,
from this
okay, yeah.
position.
Fair point. I don't mean like can I say the F word? The fags.
Sure.
The fags in like Maryland that are like, well, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I vote for the policy. Like, not those idiots. I'm talking about like the MAGA people, like your 30, 40-year-old MAGA tards.
Oh yeah.
They would accept anything Trump said, but it does seem like now even they are kind of like
he's gone too far.
Yeah. This is he's clearly lost it. I mean, like, to us, it's genuinely a little scary. And I'm not even saying that to be rhetorical. It is kind of like, yo, what is anyone in charge over there? Like, this is crazy.
Yes.
But even
Chris Lasavita. That's the answer.
Is he really?
Basically.
Is he still around?
Yeah, he's the one that put out real quick for chat. If you don't know what's going on, there's a lot going on right now. Just like in the last couple of hours. One, there's not many people here, so I'll go ahead and lay out what is actually happening. The other day, about a week and a half ago, March 31st, I had a stream. I said I was late to the stream because I had an impromptu meeting. That meeting is what has led to what's happened in the last couple of hours. What's happened in the last couple of hours has never happened before in the history of politics, where you have a candidate that is running alongside another candidate to unseat an incumbent, which is Lindsey Graham. And these two candidates are Mark Lynch and Paul Dan. Now, Paul Dan's and Mark Lynch were both polling relatively decent. And so what happens when you have multiple candidates like that and not just a Lindsey Graham versus one, where you have a Lindsey Graham versus 2 or 3 or 4? It doesn't really split the vote in the same way. Whereas, if you have too many options, people's brains default. They default to the thing. And the thing in this case will be Lindsey Graham, because that's tried and true. We know what we're going to get, regardless of how you feel about it. That's just how the psychology works. And so what Paul Dans has done is essentially put his ego to the side. So shout out to Paul Dans for this, and backed off, removed himself from the ballot, and endorsed Mark Lynch. And so in this case, what we were looking for a runoff.
That's
and
what he
runoff,
did?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. And so what Paul Dans is doing is basically stepping back and saying, hey, I respect the seat enough, I respect South Carolinians enough that I will forego my run at an attempt for a runoff against Lindsey Graham that we're more than likely not going to get if I stay in the race. I will forego that just to unseat Lindsey Graham. And so now we got to look at all the money, all of the media spots like Tucker Carlson that Paul Dans has gotten for his seat, and then backed off of that, endorsed Mark Lynch, put everything behind Mark Lynch just to unseat Lindsey Graham. That's kind of where we're at right now in South Carolina. And so in this race of the Senate, it is basically, it boils down to, do you want to win? Is there a political solution? And if there is, then you have a Paul Dans and a Mark Lynch kind of laying the groundwork for this. Let's say Mark Lynch does beat Lindsey Graham. This is an all or nothing thing, and then Tim Scott is next, and it's very, very likely that maybe it's Paul Dans, maybe it's somebody else. But if Lindsey Graham gets unseat, then Tim Scott is literally right behind. And so it's all or nothing. Either Mark Lynch wins against Lindsey Graham, and we get Tim Scott, or Mark Lynch loses against Lindsey Graham, and we don't unseat Tim Scott also. And so, I mean, South Carolina could completely flip from having 2 faggot senators to straight up American Christian nationalists actually care about South Carolinians in the Senate seat. So, this is, when I talk about, is there a political solution? Maybe not. It's a very, very minor chance. This is that minor chance that I'm telling you about. It's a possibility to at least stave it off for a few more years. And so I would rather that option with the possibility of actually winning politically than devolving into what is inevitable. that nobody really wants. You can argue that you want it, that you would like violent revolution, but nobody, I promise you, you do not want that. And so I and a lot of other people will do everything in their power to make sure that we do not end up in that position. So all that being said, it basically boils down to dump Lindsey Graham, vote Mark Lynch for Senate. Boom. Mark Lynch for Senate, South Carolina, June 9th. It's a 1v1 race now. Shout out to Paul Dans for that. On top of that, Josh, I mean, just absolutely history breaking. Never happened before. Like, it's never happened before where you have a viable candidate drop out and come and support his opposition. They've gone at it back and forth.
That
before the primary. Never happened before.
That is exciting because, so full disclosure, before we went live, you asked me if I heard about Paul Dans and Mark Lynch. I don't remember where the conversation went, but I didn't know it was that. I did not know that Paul Dans had dropped out to support Mark Lynch. That is really exciting. And I got to be honest, I'm kind of still processing it because it's like, if you were to tell me one dropped out to endorse the other, I would have thought it would have been the opposite. Because Paul Dans has there's a little, I'm more suspicious of Dans, let's put it that way. So there go. And Mark Lynch is a little dry.
Yep.
So I would think it would be the opposite, but
all there. Yeah, it's all there. Well,
that's
here's
crazy.
what you got to look at. And this is kind of what, I know both of the staffers on both ends. I've talked to Paul Dans, I've talked to Mark Lynch, not anything crazy in depth, but the staffers on both ends are our guys. And I think that is what it comes to, is right. But when you vote for a politician, you do vote for the politician, but really you're looking at their staffers. Who's going to be pushing these policies when they get there? A lot of times they are mouthpieces, regardless of what they say, they're mouthpieces. And we know that, but a lot of times it is the funders that come from it, and it's the staffers. They're staffed by AIPAC guys a lot of times, and that's what we get. And so when you look at a candidate, you want to look at their staffers and where their staffers stand. And I've said this before about Mark Lynch's staff, that they're our guys, and I would also say that about Paul Dans staffers, and I think that cohesion that comes from that gives us the position that we're in right now, where you have literal opponents coming together, tag team and Lindsey Graham. I mean, Lindsey Graham loves a tag team, but not in this way. And so because of that, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Because of that, I mean, you have once they came out, once Paul Dans endorsed Mark Lynch, you have Donald Trump, or I guess it's really more along the lines of Chris LaCivita, probably type this thing out. Come out and say
correct
and say on his Truth Social, outright attacking Mark Lynch and equating him to Thomas Massey. I mean, we give Massey a lot of grief on here, but if I'm going to be compared to someone in Congress, I mean.
Well, it just
Massey, is this shots right now? Or are you trying to help me out? Like, that's what I'm looking at.
It goes to show how out of touch Trump is. Listen, like we kind of got on the Massey train because of his stance against AIPAC
and open borders and libertarian, but he is.
But your average person,
congressman,
your average person got on board because of his stance against Trump on Epstein.
Yeah.
So if this were like 6-8 months ago,
be a different story.
It'd be a different story, but it's not, and it just goes to show. Also, side note, and this is a genuine question.
Mm-hmm.
It's not double-ended. He says here Lindsey Graham is doing a fantastic job, and I'm genuinely asking, what has Lindsey Graham done? Like, legislative, like in any way, like, and I'm not saying this to be like, what does he even do, man? Like, where I'm making a statement as a question. I'm genuinely asking, like, what has he passed? What has he been behind other than black dudes?
Ukraine, massive funding Ukraine. He takes a trip to Israel every 2 weeks.
Israel.
We know this. This is known.
I know
Let
the
me-
nickname
I-
Lindsey Grahamnesty. What I'm not sure what that like. What he
He's probably
Nas-
advocating for amnesty right now. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, I'm not completely caught up on that, but
So
I would like to look at let's say, not even a year ago. Well, I guess it would be almost it would be less than 2 years ago. This is Donald Trump on Lindsey Graham less than 2 years ago. What are we doing here? This is a question. I blame myself for Lindsey Graham because the only reason he won the great state of South Carolina is because I endorsed him. April of 24. That's less than 2 years ago. Have we learned nothing?
What was that in relation to? Do you know? He
Who
probably
knows?
said or did some
Lindsey
stupid
Graham
shit.
is very unpredictable, let's say. Sometimes you get not anymore. Back about 2 years ago, you would get a decent Lindsey and then you would get a garbage Lindsey. You never know which way he's going because he's playing both sides of the fence just like he plays both sides of the ball. Nice. I love when I set myself up. But anyway, this is
He's
this
worried
is-
about all those sailors we're gonna lose in the Middle East.
This is Donald Trump literally today, right after the announcement of Paul Dan's endorsed Mark Lynch. Senator Lindsey Graham is doing a fantastic job. He is running against lunatic named Mark Lynch, who supports perhaps the worst congressman in the history of our country, Thomas Massey. Absolutely insane take from Donald Trump. Of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky, I don't have to go into the great detail, but needless to say, Mark Lynch would be a disaster for the Republican Party, and Lindsey Graham just gets the job done. Vote for Lindsey all the way. MAGA, President Donald J. Trump. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Josh, if I had to put out a tweet as Donald Trump and try to boost Mark Lynch as much as I can, you know what I would do, Josh? I would do that. Like, what a retard. Like, are we trying to give him some more? Or are we trying to cut him down? Like, are we playing some action? Are we finally getting some 4D chess here? Or is this he just retarded? Are we playing
He's
checkers or
retarded.
4D chess?
I wouldn't be surprised if Trump has early onset dementia or something like that.
Hey, dude, he's got to go is what he's got. That's what he's got
to go.
Anyway, that's my spiel about
Thomas Matthew
Mark
Crooks.
Lynch and Paul Dan. So again, shout out to Paul Dan, shout out to his staffers, and I'm sure there'll be some workaround. That's just the way politics works. That I doubt Paul Dan's is going anywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him in a couple of years against Tim Scott. I would prefer that, actually.
Truth be that I wouldn't be surprised if that was the arrangement. There's no way they didn't have a sit down to discuss that. I don't think Paul Dan's just dropped out.
Well,
without,
sure, he didn't. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that was kind of the, hey, if you beat Lindsey in your South Carolina Senate seat, whatever, you gotta, throw me a bone. And he goes, yeah.
Well, sure. That's
Quid
just the
pro
way.
quo.
That's just the way politics works.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that's shady or anything. I think that's which I'm fine with.
But yeah, I mean, exciting news coming out for South Carolina. Really, at the end of the day, it all boils down to what we have to do. Put your ego aside. We have to get Lindsey Graham out of his seat.
So let me ask you this though, because I'll be honest, I didn't think Paul Dan's or Mark Lynch had a real chance. So I hadn't really looked into either.
Well, it depends on how you look at it. I think.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. My question is like, how good is how good is Mark Lynch? Like, is he going to unseat Lindsey?
It's not going to be easy.
What's he going to advocate for?
Well, I interviewed Mark Lynch a while back, really early on in his campaign. I don't know if you remember that.
I caught the beginning of it.
You can find that. Mark Lynch and Paul Dan's, I came out pretty heavy against Paul Dan's originally. But again, I met with him, some of his staff, and talked to him at one of these meet and greets. And I mean, I feel like I'm decent at reading people, and I really like Paul Dans. We'll see what happens. I mean, they're avowed Christian nationalists, like actual, and so that's why they're being attacked. Obviously, otherwise they would just let it go. And to the point of, is there a viability of him winning? I mean, I don't think Donald Trump would come out within an hour of this endorsement and attack from his position. Usually, again, this doesn't happen unless there's an actual threat, and there's obviously an actual threat, right? We covered last week on my show. Maybe I didn't actually, where Lindsey Graham came out in a press conference and attacked his staffers directly.
Yeah,
both staffers. He attacked Vish based on a meme he posted, and then they got fired by the Blaze, and then he attacked Lindsey Graham directly attacked Evan Mulch because he posted a image of him stepping on a Talmud. I mean, this is
that's pretty funny.
This is a massive seat right now, and they feel threatened. And so even if the poll numbers had Mark Lynch at 40, 41, they feel like that is an issue on their end. And so it is essentially a two-man race. I don't think it'll go to a runoff. It will be more than likely decided on June 9th. And I think Mark Lynch, given everything we have right now, I think he still has some momentum to build. I think this Paul Dans virality that's happening right now is going to give him a little bit of boost. And so we'll see what happens. Again, I'm going to do everything I can to get Lindsey Graham out of his seat.
They're going to need to deep clean that thing before Mark takes it.
Minus illegal things.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Here's what's scary, though, about Lindsey Graham getting dethroned is he's probably just going to, now he's not going to be in D.C., Israel, or Ukraine. He's going to be walking around here. What if he bleeds on us by accident, Zeb? What are we going to do then?
Let me grab this. Go ahead for a second.
A phone call?
No, just talk. Introduce us what we're doing.
Yeah, so the Lindsey Graham thing, Paul Dans, Mark Lynch, this is all kind of a new development. I was talking with Zeb around 7, 8 o'clock before the show, obviously, and we were discussing all the tweets and stuff, all the new developments, which as a resident of South Carolina, I am very excited for. So we got that to look forward to. But the kind of stuff we're going to be getting into. Okay, Zeb's gone now. I can do my cable. I can do my real voice now. No, I'm kidding, guys. But what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be going over some of the boomer cope. Honestly, it's just kind of fun being back. We're just having a chill stream. We're going to be going over some of these boomer retards. Oh my God, guys. It's very bad. Honestly, the kind of crap we're going to be going over will blow your mind. These people, unironically, like, I don't wish bad, like as a Christian, I don't wish bad things on people, but like from a certain point of view, the world would be a better place if a meteor hit India. You know what I mean? Like if Africa just got tsunamied, like that would be bad, but it wouldn't be all bad. You know what I mean? Like I'm not wishing it. Don't get me wrong, but there's a part of me now that's like, damn, man, we may have been too hasty with this COVID cure. We maybe we should have let it run its course a little bit. If the pillow can't do it, COVID can. Because the truth is, like, the more I hear from these, I do love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. It's better than Lord of the Rings. Deal with it. No, I'm kidding. Well, the movies are more fun. I'll put it that way. Hold on. Do I have a mouse? Give me a second here, fellas. Mitchell Black says Josh Maxing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother, we're going to the gym. We're Josh Maxing. Josh is like our own Bilbo Baggins. Okay. Bilbo. That's the one from The Hobbit. I don't know. If I had to be one of the hobbits, I would want to be Sam. Because I don't know. I don't really like any of the hobbits. I think they're all a little fruity. Lord of the Rings movies are better than the books. I'm going to take you at your word, Todd Baker, because I've never heard that take before. Zeb is Tom Bombadil. No. Zeb is what is Zeb? No. Zeb is the dwarf. What's his name? Grimble? He's a dwarf. He's loud, he's belligerent, he's got a beard. Well, who would Atlas and John be? John would probably be Tom Bombadil. And I know why you're saying that is blasphemy, Todd, because I know Tom Bombadil is technically God in the books. But who would Atlas be? Atlas would probably be what's that guy's name? Orlando Bloom's character, the elf. What's his name? I'm glad that y'all are getting Jack Rock exposure because that was some of the early content. Now y'all are Yeah. Everything cool?
Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. Atlas is one of the Ents.
Hey, real quick, guys.
That's pretty good.
I'll be back and we're gonna finish this episode. We have a dog that's I don't know. We picked him up. We adopted him. He was probably I don't know. Probably we assumed he was like 2, 3. He was probably a little bit older. We've had him for about 7 years. He's got really bad cancer and his vertebrae is spreading. It's been spreading for about a week. They assumed it was either cancer or something that antibiotics could fix. And so we've been putting him on antibiotics. It hadn't gotten better. Anyway, his back legs are kind of not really working right now. We're going to have to put him to sleep tomorrow. But right now, we have steps and he needs to get up and down them. So I am going to be in and out for a little bit. But we are going to get through this.
That sucks.
This stream tonight. Give me like 10 minutes. Josh is going to give you...
If you gotta go take care of that, I can solo.
I got like 10 minutes. You give me like 10 minutes. We'll be good. As long as I can get him back up the steps.
All right.
That being said, just give him a rundown on kind of what the position is, what we're going to be looking into on the calls, what to be expecting. I don't even really know.
It's so out of character for me, but I got completely sidetracked.
No, Josh never does that. Real quick, if you don't mind, let's grab Major Dono from what was it? Who was that earlier? For the members.
Did we miss one?
No members.
Read one from Black. Josh.
Win Dixie gifted. What's that like 10 subs? Shout out Win Dixie for the subs, dude. Zeb got called to shut it down. No. What's up, Mitchell? Did you already cover these? Josh will only be Sam if Nick was Frodo.
We're trying to figure out which Lord of the Rings character is everybody. Like who Atlas is, who you are.
Who am I?
You're Gimli. That was my... No. Yeah! Who else would you be? No. I think... I'm Legolas. Everybody knows. I think Legolas, that's his name. Oh, shoot. I got to figure this out. Oh, it's all different now. There we go. Atlas is Legolas. Lindsey Graham is Tom Bombadil. I don't know. I'm kidding. Zeb could be Smog. Ooh. No. I'd be Smog because I sleep all the time on a pile of gold and it sticks to my big belly. That's why I'd be Smog. Anyway, rundown of what we're doing. So Laura Cox says, Josh, how has the feedback from call-ins at work been going? Well, we're going to get into that today. Not good. The boomers are pissed. So we'll get into this in more detail because some of you guys, I mean, a lot of you guys have kind of been here a while, but we hint at it. But me and Zeb have been doing this show for a year, and nothing I've ever said has gotten back to me at the radio station. So I'm just going to be very explicit, all right? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of the lore and backstory before Zeb gets back. So my boss is the former lieutenant governor of South Carolina, and he is a born and bred South Carolinian. He's a smart guy. He is, if you look into him, I'm not gonna go so far as to say his name, but honestly, if you look me up, it wouldn't be hard to find. But he is a born and bred South Carolinian, smart guy, and cares about the state. He would be a good politician if he were still in politics. And the truth is he was Nikki Haley's lieutenant governor in like 2010 to 2012, I think, until eventually he was basically kicked out of politics. Like they, as they often do, drag up something that is a non-issue, turn it into a mountain, into a molehill, and he kicked him out. So he's kicked out of politics, immediately got a gig as a radio show host, which is what he does today. And I am the producer for said show. And so that's how I know him. That's how I got kind of introduced into South Carolina politics. Zeb, of course, is very politically minded and listens to the show. The show is a lot politically here in South Carolina. It's actually a bigger deal than I knew going into it. I've talked about this before on the show on different streams, but I've spoken with Donald Trump. Donald Trump has called into the show. I've spoken with, kind of started with the big dogs, but Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, not JD Vance, unfortunately. I mean, that would have been a cool one to add to my roster, even though I hate his guts. But yeah, like kind of a big deal. And what Zeb originally wanted to do is he approached me. He called into the show a few times, and he was the only one that really agreed with me. So we built a little bit of a rapport, and that's how Zeb and I got to know each other. Zeb had the idea for what NAV is today. Now it's not in its final form, and we do intend to grow it. But, the idea of NAV is kind of Zeb's baby. And so Zeb approached me with this idea of having like a podcast network, having me do my own podcast, that kind of thing, and having my boss do his. So we kind of talked on that a little bit, but eventually I started doing the podcast with Zeb, and we were talking as we do now. We were talking about the Jews. We were talking about blacks. We were talking about blacks and their IQ. We were talking about women, all sorts of stuff, everything under the sun, all the good stuff. And my boss, good guy, but he's just an old, he's an old guy. He's a boomer. He doesn't think it's as bad as it is. He doesn't get it. He's getting there. Most boomers just have their heads completely in the sand or are on a different fucking planet. This guy, my boss, good guy, pays attention. But, he was born in the 60s, guys. Like, his foundation to get to where me and Zeb are, to get to where you are, would cause him to cut the legs out from everything he's ever believed his entire life. And the truth is like when you're 60 years old, it's not happening. It's too much. And the thing is like, I've seen it. Like I've talked with him about these things before, and I can see like he rubs up against that wall, but it's just too much to get himself to climb over it. You know what I mean? And I'm really not saying this to put the guy down. This is just I'm just telling you the backstory. It just is what it is. So, and I'm really saying this because when we talk about him on the show, when we review the clips, we are kind of putting him down. And I don't mean it to come across that way, but it is what it is. To his credit, since the Iran war, he is one of these middle ground magatards that I mentioned earlier that is kind of questioning it now. He's saying, fuck, this is bad. And I know he knows how bad it is because he's coping. I'm kind of giving the backstory with Ken and everything, and you, and you know how he tried to cut the legs out from under you. Because I was telling them we've been talking about him on the show for a year, and it never got back to me, never got back to either of us. So we're fine. But my point is like, where was I? He can't get over that wall. It's too painful to address the foundations. But with this Trump thing, he's kind of getting there. And he's negotiating with himself. Like what I've heard many, many times over the past month since the Iran war started is this is bad, but I don't think Trump wants to be there. I don't think Trump wants to send troops on the ground. I don't think in Trump's heart he wants the war to be happening. It doesn't matter. I think he does. Like the truth is we're talking about, is Trump retarded? I think Trump, and I think Nick said it, I think Trump is just completely evil. Like I think he is just a piece of shit. And the point is, even if in his heart of hearts, everything Trump ran on in 2016 is what he wanted, but he just got bogged down by the pressure or bought, it doesn't matter what he feels like. It's what he's doing. When they talk about Trump 100 years from now, if there's even white people talking about history still, I guess Asians will.
If there's even white people.
Yeah. I mean, the Asians might talk about it, but the blacks won't. But you get what I'm saying, is it's like they're not going to talk about what Trump was tossing and turning about in his bed. They're going to say Trump started the Iran war. So anyway.
That's it. That's exactly right. It really doesn't matter what the intent is. No one ever cares about the intent. It's what actually happened. Or what's recorded, rather. I think these are two separate things. We all understand this.
Exactly.
Until they're rewritten. That's what we do here on the show outside the Overton. We rewrite history. Just kidding.
You've got my card, Marcus.
Kind of only kidding. Only kind of kidding. Josh, address this. I do want to say one thing. Because I listen to the show. I don't listen to all of it.
Does this person know who
he listens? Zach listens to.
Okay.
A couple of these guys have been tuning into the radio station.
I appreciate y'all not calling in and getting me fucked.
I will say, dude. To this point, as Zach says, I noticed his demeanor has changed a lot since at least as much as he can show on air. I will also say that he's let Josh speak a lot more in the last week or so than he has, the few months prior. And it's obviously because Josh has been right about all this. Yeah. And now he can't say that.
He gave me credit because it was the Friday before the Iran war started. I don't even remember why. I can't imagine how he came to this conclusion, but he said, I don't think we're going to war. And I go, we're going to be at war before Monday. And he was like, all right, we'll see. And then we were, and he was like, you were right. So there's that. But yeah, to answer the question that you had pulled up, that his demeanor has changed because it's like we talked about. Not only has Trump totally reneged on the promises, and this is the most blatant one yet, because even like the mass deportations, it's a shitty excuse, but it is an excuse those two people getting killed. You know what I mean? With this, we struck first. We did start it. Or we let Israel start it and then play defense. He's totally and now it's not even like, damn, I'm reluctant about this. He's all in on it. It's a total betrayal of everything he said. And it's too much, man. Like for any reasonable person, now even if you're like not a racist, even if you're not anti-Semitic, not sexist, for like your average conservative, it's too much. It is too much. And Trump is clearly unhinged. And my boss can tell. And the truth is, it's upsetting him. There's also things behind the scene that I can't say or get into, but yeah. But it has to do with the war. It has to do with the situation.
All right, we're going to get into some of these call-ins after this. Mitchell Black says, do you think that Trump was hiding his true intentions since I voted for him in 2016? I'll tell you what I say on my show all the time is I don't know the answer to that. I would largely say probably just on the basis of Donald Trump is a real estate mogul from New York that's inherited this vast fortune, one, but two, has major connections to black operations, essentially, from intelligence communities. And so, you know, him going under the radar for the CIA or Mossad or whoever you want to follow it under, they're essentially the same thing. I say this all the time. Tucker Carlson's finally come out and confirmed it. They're the same thing. For him to go on the radar is like unheard of, like it didn't happen. And so the answer to that isn't whether Trump was hiding his true intentions. It's, was Trump even Trump then, or was it just one massive op from the beginning? And I say all the time that we need to go back and reevaluate everything from back in 2016 from his first term, because it was always laid up to, oh, he's new here. He doesn't understand how it works. He's surrounded by Obama acolytes. It was always some deflection of what was actually going on. He's really trying to drain the swamp, but he's not draining the swamp. Is kind of where we all ended up at.
It honestly, like 6 months ago, I would have even said, if you think it was an op from the start, you're retarded. But now I'm kind of like,
well, the Epstein stuff leans to it too.
I'm questioning it.
Yeah.
I mean, Jared Kushner, and the truth is it's like, it could go either way, but we've talked about this before, and I always forget the name of it, but there was the forum where, like, you know, his, the Billy Bush tapes, I think, had just come out, and his campaign was in the tank. Like, everyone thought, like, I thought he was going to lose, and I only went to vote for him because I had just turned 18, and I was like, I'm just going to vote because it's the first time I can. You know what I mean? And I think he's funny and cool, and I like him. I wish he would be president, but he's not going to be. And he put out that thing where he's like, we need qualified people, but like the establishment isn't getting it done. You need to apply. And people did. There was like a form he put out, and then he won, thrown in the trash.
Yeah.
And then he just got everybody. And I think there's an argument to be made against the argument that it was a psyop the entire time, is that what this really was about was Trump's ego. And because, like, I think about it, like you brought up the Lindsey Graham tweet from 24 earlier where he's shitting on Lindsey Graham, but now Lindsey Graham's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Why is that? I think Trump just surrounds himself with whoever's singing his praises.
I'll quote it for him. I surround myself with losers. That's a quote from Donald Trump because it makes him feel like a winner. And so now you see where it's all coming from. Donald Trump says he surrounds himself with losers because he makes him feel like a winner. And then he surrounds himself.
I wish he'd surround himself with Alex Jones,
with Susie Wiles, with Lindsey Graham, Jared Kushner, Marco Rubio, JD Vance.
Dude, Jared Kushner is a ghoul. I saw a video of him the other day, and I was like, I kind of see the resemblance.
Gasser for 2. If he doesn't, is worse. Means he had grape soda. Oh, if it wasn't from the beginning, it means he has grape soda.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I would also say that the Epstein files kind of lend to the idea that it was not from the beginning too, at least from 2017. I'd have to go back and reference specific ones, but that's my conclusion.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too off on a tangent here, but it's one of those things like if he had to ask the I don't know, how bad do you think it is?
Not good.
Like
Melania comes out of nowhere yesterday, and says I was never involved with Jeffrey Epstein. It's like, where did that come from? You're 4 months late on this. What are we doing here? Right?
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump comes out in a tweet and throws Tucker Carlson and I can't remember who else, Megyn Kelly and like 2 other people like under the bus completely.
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, yeah. And so I don't know. It seems like something might be coming down the pipeline. I said to Josh on a phone call earlier, I think the ceasefire with Iran was a mess up, and they are trying to get him back on track. So,
well, you absolutely know this is one of Trump's tactics. Is he will publicly say that people agreed to things that they didn't agree to, but it puts them in the position. But for them to come out and say, "No, I didn't agree to them," it makes them look like the asshole.
Well, they did that about Lebanon.
Well, exactly. But he's done. I wish I had more examples off the top of my head, but he's done this throughout his whole thing. He did it with France somewhat recently. I can't remember what it was about, but he obviously said that Macron agreed to this when he most likely didn't, but Macron can't come out and deny it because it makes him look bad. The problem is he misjudged it. I think what he tried to do was he tried to do it to both Iran and Israel. He tried to make Iran come to the table by saying they agreed, and they were like, "No, we didn't."
Yeah.
And Israel was like,
I believe it.
And he tried to maybe Israel did agree. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they just lied. But let's just say for argument's sake, I don't think Trump is ideologically aligned with the Jews on everything. Like, I don't think Donald Trump wants white genocide. I think he's just an idiot and he's just an out of touch boomer that doesn't get it. And
he is the first Jewish president.
Maybe. But for argument's sake, I would say that if he realizes Benjamin Netanyahu is dog walking him, and it's a fine line to toe, especially with the Jewish lobby in America. Maybe he thought he could railroad Netanyahu into behaving by agreeing to the deal on his behalf. And Netanyahu responds by blowing up apartment buildings.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a little bit of
we would have known
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's my thing is the truth is we just have no idea. And I don't think we can know, dude. It's impossible. There's just so much.
Not until all this is over, at least.
Well, sure. But I mean,
let's grab this from Gasser, and then Gasser says, if he doesn't want war in his heart, it's worse because it means blackmail. Yeah. I don't know if it's worse, but yeah. Is it worse?
Well, and
I think it matters. I think that's what we're talking about. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The intent is kind of irrelevant.
If the real Donald Trump is dead and this is his clone, I mean, what's the point? You know, it doesn't mean any. We're in war with Iran.
Ceasefire is to regroup for ground invasion.
Could be, yeah.
I think he drops nukes, man. I think ground invasion is a loss.
Now, I don't think Donald Trump will drop nukes. I think Israel would.
I don't think Israel has nukes.
What?
I don't think they actually have them. I actually don't think they have them. They would have used them by now.
No. I think.
Yeah. Also, nukes aren't real, but that's All right, let's
that's
jump. Let's finally, we're 50 minutes into the episode. We're gonna get to some actual what we were gonna get into today. Josh has got a couple timestamps for us. Whereabouts do you want to?
So go
begin?
to April 6th.
All right, is April 6th is what?
That's Monday.
4 days ago, 5 days ago.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the Iran war. I'd say go to the 15-minute mark.
Oh, this is really early on in the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, so I mean, I listened to some of the episodes. I usually get like 30 minutes to an hour in around like 8 o'clock or something. But I'm in and out, dude. And sometimes I catch some good stuff. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes Josh puts Ken in a little corner and they got to go to a commercial break.
Oh, well, that's actually this. I do have an exciting announcement. I do have an exciting announcement. So for those of you that do...
Let's announce it after this.
Okay, all right.
All right, let's get through one of these.
It has to do with the show, though.
Okay.
Roller derby and a quadruple shot of estrogen. That's what I gathered from it. The ladies standing behind when they sang the national anthem. Did you watch any of it?
Here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They
The
look
whole
like
thing.
Eddie Murphy's sisters from Coming to America. Didn't they? I mean, what was that about? Her athletics. Is she going to wear Louis Vuitton or Gucci today? Coach at South Carolina because he had such a spectacular year? No, he's got a buyout. Systems operator was the one that was more complicated to get. We got the and some of the Hawks. If we didn't do what we've done over the past 30,
we're getting there, Chad.
Russia has a stockpile of nuclear weapons. That's just kind of interesting. We follow Israel pretty closely. That goes back to the beginning when Rubio gave the remarks off the cuff when he said, once we knew Israel had decided to launch,
I'll pull this up.
we had no choice.
Tell him what you were going to say.
Thanks for checking out this archive.
Okay. What I was going to say is I mentioned this to you before, and I think I mentioned it on the show, but there's a Jewish woman who's been calling into the show regularly to tell the host what an anti-Semite he is and how we need to blow up. We need to glass all the sand inwards. We need to just kill them all because they're a bunch of backward savages. I actually think this is a bad idea, but it's happening. Ken requested that we bring her in. So she is going to be coming on the show live in studio to discuss this topic with him this upcoming Tuesday at 9 o'clock. So,
dude,
go to live953.com and tune in.
Can I please prep him before we go in?
I'd be down.
I'll offer an olive branch to prep him for her.
And so I'm the producer.
He's not going to be ready.
I've been scheduling, like I coordinated this with her. And she was like, what topics do you want to discuss? I'm like, no question. Shit. So I go to him. I go, what topics would you like discussing? He goes, oh, just the war. I'm like, I'm a little concerned too because she says her cousin's driving her here, and I'm like, what is that?
Her cousin's what?
Her cousin's driving her to the studio, and I'm like, so there's going to be two of you here? Do I need to be protected?
Dude,
her Mossad cousin.
I'm offering an olive branch.
Excuse me.
To prep him for Tuesday's show. If he does not get prepped by myself or Josh, he is going to get cooked by some little Jewish chick from Orangeburg. Old lady, probably old lady.
She's like middle-aged. Now,
cooked.
This is also some behind the scenes baseball. A guy who you'll hear that we're about to play. He's a regular caller to the show. He sometimes texts in this group, this chat. Also, Jim from Florence. He gave her that. So her name is Annie from Orangeburg, but we've been referring to her behind the scenes as Anne Frank from Orangeburg. So I almost accidentally
not we, just you.
Me and Jim.
Don't throw him under the bus.
Me and Jim. But I almost like on our like work calendar, I almost put her in when I put her in the schedule. It's a little bit of a slip.
Oof.
I did ANNE and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm missing something there.
All right, let's catch up on these super chats and we'll dive back in. The boomer call-ins are like audio versions of the retarded super chats Nick gets.
Except there's no good ones. There's no there's no like daylight. Like at least with the super chats, you get some entertainment because they either A, piss Nick off or prompt an entertaining response. The phone calls exist
They want
for
to be
the
radio
host to go on his phone
Yeah.
and take a break.
They want to be the
Yes.
radio host. That's what they call in for.
Yes.
They do.
Yes. And there's dude, and it's so funny because all the people that call in like once a month and are like, hey man, I don't, I blah, blah, blah. This is just my take. And they give it. I'm like, that was a good call. And then they call again and they're like, oh, I hope I'm not calling too much. I'm like, dude, yeah, just call when you have something to say and never in between. Because the people that
They want to fill space.
if you call a radio show, there is no reason for you to talk more than 60 seconds. Unless you're a guest, unless we
finish the
called
thought.
you.
Yeah. Just get the thought out, dude, and let the radio host take the show.
Yes.
Gasser, Trump would drop nukes to save his name in history, to have his name in history. I agree. I think that's what it is largely. That's kind of my position on that, is a legacy positioning, especially now since
Smelly balls.
since he's basically cooked the economy.
It'd be so much easier if I could see the waveform.
He understands it better than he's not a legendary baseball coach, but the guy really understands the business part of college athletics. Well, if he understands the
Go to
business
20.
Let me speed
part of
this up.
college athletics, the University of Virginia wants to hire Don Staley away, and he wants to cut that budget from 16 to 7 or 8. You know what? They want to win, but there's some fun to be had out here too. Tiger looks like he's miserable. I mean, he's kicking everybody's butt, but he looks like
10 million people in a year.
All right, yeah, a little before
In a
that.
year. You see tanks. You see
Probably a new place he's hanging out, but it is a change because it was kind of a legendary tradition in the vicinity down there.
And for those who've never gone, I mean, Rev knows this. Josh, within 100 yards of one of the most holy grounds in all of sports, and I mean that sincerely. When you stand on the ground, there's an eeriness about it. Within 100 yards, there's an Olive Garden and a Citgo store. You know what I mean? Just behind those shrubs is an Olive Garden and a Citgo. Behind those, on the other side of the shrubs, is one of the most, amazing pieces of property man has ever created.
We're talking about
843-661-0937, our number. Got a lot of things here to talk about. Josh, grab your mic. I want to get your take on this. Is there any bringing back? Because I'm looking at some polling now.
Ken goes, here, Josh, you do Ken.
I do. Yeah.
You do Ken.
So here's
Say, Josh, grab your mic.
Josh, grab your mic. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah.
Josh is over there. This is 6:00 in the morning. Josh is like this. Josh, grab your mic. No idea what's going on. I don't see it every single time.
I don't do it anymore. But I used to watch movies. Like I used to just like I had a headphone under my headphone, an AirPod under my headphone with like
that's so bad, dude. The Zoomers, they just don't want to work. They don't want to listen to me talking to the radio.
What made me stop is because I was like, it's actually really unprofessional. And one time, because they're over to my left, my main computer's kind of left adjacent, and the phone is to my right. So I put my AirPod in my right ear, and I went to answer the phone, and it fell out. And I was afraid they saw it. They didn't, but I was like, I can't let that happen.
When Ken goes to Josh and says, "Josh, grab your mic," it's always it's one of two things. It's either it's something a little further than Ken wants to say on the radio, so he like opts to give it to Josh for Josh to say it, like a little option toss. It's an option play for Ken is Josh, grab your mic, and then the other option is, okay, it's a little bit slow right now. I need a little opposition. Josh, grab your mic.
Yeah. Well, there was a point in the week because sometimes Ken, like we talked about, you remember how I did a speech at the Republican Florence thing, and the boomers were like, how do we get young people involved? And I'm like, you're doing everything wrong. You have to change up everything. And they're like, oh, what? And then they're like, whoa. How do we do everything the same and be different? You know? And so Ken, he's genuinely curious about what young people are interested in. And it's not simply a strategy thing. Like, he is kind of like, he knows, like, the boomers have disdain for young people. Ken is free from that mindset enough to realize, like, oh, young people have something to contribute to. They will be here one day and we won't be. What they think right now does matter. He does get that. So when he sees me tuning out, I think it hurts his feelings a little bit. But it's like,
all right, we gotta
anyway,
get to it. We're gonna go through a whole episode, not even listen to any of this. 5 from Zach says, I think it was last Friday he brought up Josh's name to comment like 5 times and went to commercial break every time and went on for like an hour.
He would prompt a question, give his thoughts on the question, and then just not go to me. I'm like,
and you've got to admit that if you are in the conservative young person group, you'd be a fairly extreme example. Is that, I'm not being critical, but is that fair?
No, that's fair.
Okay.
Josh is a moderate.
Take the extreme
Let's be
part
serious
out of the
here.
equation.
Josh is a moderate among the youth.
am I?
Yes.
I think you're an extremist among the, not that that's a bad thing, but
Yes, I am an extremist. You're a moderate, and then everyone to the left of you is an extremist also. Extremist, Josh, me, and everybody else that's with me. Josh isn't that moderate.
Yeah, I'd say if it's a spectrum, I'm less extreme than you.
Dude, I think the
certain
younger
things.
generation, there is no real center. It's
No,
moderate
yeah,
right,
yeah.
moderate left, extreme right, extreme left.
Yeah, there's like Brylan Hollyhand might be the only one.
Yeah, but he's not even real.
Yeah, he's
That's not real though.
he's projected from like
He's just
two-dimensional space.
yeah. He's a computer controlled from a boomer. A boomer's back there. What's a little
I like. Can we zoom into his eyes?
He's got a little rat Jew in his hat, like Ratatouille up here controlling him. That's what it is. YouTube, don't ban Nav Channel 2, okay? Just mine is fine for now.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so Josh
Let's
is
go
an
young
extremist.
conservatives, not as conservative as Josh, not as rigid as you are about some of the others. Is there any way Trump gains their favor back? Because I'm reading the polls. He's lost young conservatives. Is there anything he can do to bring that back?
All right. So I'm going to tell you. Now, I
speak for not the extreme conservative.
Well, that's
but
the
the
point.
conservative.
Is the young conservative may not be as extreme as me, but they're not what you would consider to be conservative or moderate.
What would I get wrong about it?
So I'll tell you this. If he wants to win young conservatives back, you need a Gestapo-like roundup of illegal immigrants. I mean, deporting like 10 million people in a year. You see tanks. You see the military. You see Trump essentially maybe not packing the court, but, you know, like some of that typical Trump shooting from the hippery, but actually
I'm trying to speak for
after the
I'm trying to speak
birthright-
for people less right than me.
After the birthright ruling, packing the court is completely justified, dude. Completely justified.
Yeah, I at 1,000%.
Even as a moderate. Josh, are you okay with stoning unfaithful women?
I do think beatings need to be okay. Let's be honest. We all know if you have a job.
You ever seen that clip? Hold on. Hold on. What does he say? What does he say? He said, let me put it like this. If we're having a conversation, I'll tell you to shut up. and you keep talking. You think it's wise to keep talking?
Yeah.
Some black dude on a
Stonings might be a little bit extreme, but I am okay with.
All right, don't let's we're gonna okay.
His promises.
Don't just say it, but do it.
Yes.
So let's go back to your comment. It's not the young conservative. You don't understand. You're basically implying, and I don't disagree with this, Ken, you don't really understand the young
I'm
conservative.
laughing at.
What am I missing about the young conservative? You just said something they would be
You burn my dick.
fond of. They would be supportive of.
Mm-hmm.
But what am I missing about? I mean, I think I understand where you come from. You've told me where you come from and what you believe in. We've had a lot of conversations about you. I've got some pretty extreme views. I mean, we all have a place or two that we have extreme opinions about the world around us. Maybe it's an event or experience that led us there. Maybe it's the way we process things. But what am I missing about the younger generation? What is different about this generation of conservatives and when I was your age and considered myself somewhat conservative in 1983 or 4, I'd have been 84. I put a Reagan sticker on my 280ZX.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought that made me a conservative. I didn't know what it meant really to be a conservative because I was not real politically inclined. So what am I missing about young conservatives today?
I would say, I thought about this the other day, actually. One of the biggest divides between the boomer conservative and the zoomer conservative would be, and I want to be very careful and very clear about the definition of the words I'm using here. The boomer conservative, I would argue that both the boomer and the zoomer conservative are not racist. But the concern with that is less predominant in the zoomers, meaning the boomers grew up, you guys grew up on the tail end of the civil rights movement, and it was seen as the cool thing to be above all that. It's like, man, look what my grandparents did. Look how they treated people. I don't want to be like that at all. We're better than that. And that was like good. That was seen as good. And now, what is that? But, let's look at the effect. It got us mass immigration. The people that were mistreated, they're not exactly like, hey, I guess we're cool now. No, they're like more belligerent now than ever. And the zoomers are the ones kind of growing up with that. They're the ones growing up in that world, and they're like, dude, I don't care. I do. Okay, sorry that your great-grandparents were slaves, but I'm being mistreated today, and I don't really care that much.
So
I don't care that Mexico sucks. Quit coming here.
So there was a sympathy.
Long story short,
Yes,
I was trying to spoon feed them. Take your own side.
Yeah, you're in a bad spot. One, you're on local conservative talk show radio, meaning that you can't just like give it to them. And on top of that, it's like so time crunched. It's like the other day, Rodney wanted me to elaborate a little bit on or lay out, why there's so much animosity between, our generation and the boomers, or why we hate the boomers or whatever. And so I did it, and it ended up being like 7 minutes long. And so you don't even have that kind of time here. And I was talking fast, and I hit the wave tops. I did not go into detail at all. And so like a question like that, like trying to tackle a question like that within like a short time span and being restricted by advertisers is like almost an impossibility. I mean, you did enough,
Well, and that's the thing is it's like, you don't hear it hardly, but there's actually a third person in the room that's my real boss. And when Ken, the host, asked me questions, if I answer too honestly, then when Ken leaves, that boss will come to me and scold me for not censoring myself. Because, and it's all about like, and
Chad, I've told you this before on my show. All of us, me included, every single one of us are in the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are just bound by money also, meaning advertisers, funders.
It's you could hear me like Like, look, I take long pauses, I mumble, I stammer, but you could hear me try to say like trying to basically say young people are racist now.
Yeah.
And we don't care. Like, and they don't care. And it's totally justified. Like, the boomers, and this is the problem, is like the answer to his question is, you people don't know anything. And it is that bad. This isn't like, oh, these kids, you know, they think they know everything and blah, blah, blah. It's not like it is literally like the young people are like, if they really care, they're leaps and bounds better than the next generation. The boomers, even the smart ones, are like, they have just through, not even through hard work, mainly just through chance and luck, been able to create these little conclaves where they completely isolate themselves and have escaped the world that they created and are resentful to the people that complain about it. I saw something on Instagram the other day, and this guy, he's giving a seminar to a bunch of like 1,000-year-olds, and he's like, oh, little white boy, you sad? He's glazing immigrants. Is like, if you can't keep a job, if someone can come here, not speak the language, and get a job and do better than you, what does that say about you? The boomers worship brown people. All of them, to some less than others, but like, they all do. They all want their pet Negro. And the young people, like the white people these days, dude, if you play video games at all and you talk to like some of these kids, and I'm like, what's your opinion on Hitler?
Dude,
they're like, save us.
Dude, I was playing not long ago. It'd probably be about a month.
It gets me excited because like some of these games, you know, I feel like Unk, but you know, you encounter kids that are like 6 years old.
Nah, I haven't done that.
And they're like, God, I hate black people.
It might have been like a month and a half ago. I got on for like an hour. I did like duo fills on Fortnite. There was this dude out of Texas. He was mixed. He was German and American black or whatever.
Smelly balls.
And we were kind of talking. I basically told him, yeah, I'm essentially a racist, and he was like, yeah, me too. And then like we were like mid conversation, and he said something like cotton picking or whatever. And I was like, that's crazy. But that being said, it's like, I mean, even the, I guess, what could be considered the assimilated are, they're tired of it too. This is a position of like Myron, right? Where they're quasi assimilated. They see what's going on, regardless of where they're at. They can. It's so bad. Well, they got to throw themselves under the bus, dude.
No, and honestly, you know what? A little bit of it is, I think, is a masculinity thing, where the Obamas are fags. What up, dude? The Obamas, you know, like, they're not macho. You're like, get out my way, motherfucker. Like black guys, you know, like Barack Obama, like he's got that sort of political charisma, but you know, like, I don't think black guys really look up to Obama specifically. You know what I mean? And so like, that's why you see these like Gypsy Crusader videos and you get all the Puerto Ricans that are like, yo, kill all the Mexicans, like kill everybody. We love Hitler. It's because like during the Obama years, like that flavor of liberalism became cool. And then like women adopted it. And now it's like seen as, yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get the point I'm trying to make here? Yeah. That like, women made being anti-white not cool anymore for guys.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
I think I
They're
would
like,
agree with
man,
you.
I
It's a-
kind of,
well,
you
it's a
know, Holmes, I
patriarchy
kind of
thing.
fuck with white people now. Like these niggas
It's the
is like crazy.
It's the red pill, right? It's kind of where a lot of this stuff stems from. Again, we go back to Myron, we go to Andrew Tate and some of these guys, which is kind of the kind of a foundation for groyperism too, is where a lot of this stuff is stemmed from. So the crossover is definitely there. Let me grab this from Skeletor, and then we'll jump back into another timestamp. Did you guys see them trying to cancel Casey for his beer hall rally? Yeah, obviously Casey tried to play a little bit there. Good on him. I mean, he's going to have to do pull some tricks out of his hat if he wants to beat Vivek in Ohio. From what I can tell, it's not looking fantastic up there. I'm not saying don't quit, but I mean, he's up against quite literally the machine. And
What was the beer hall rally?
well, Putsch is essentially a violent overthrow of the government. That's his last name. Putsch was beer hall Putsch in Germany.
Oh,
And so there was they're trying to connect the two, and there was some chubby dude rolled up there to the beer hall where they were having a meeting and trying to pin him down as a Nazi or whatever, and it didn't really work out, but he got some decent clips out of it, so good on him.
dude, even the people on our side that were like, when James Fishback said that one black guy needed to be lynched, and then they were
So
like,
true.
oh, Fishback. They're like, yeah, that's funny, but come on, man. Like, dude, no. That's awesome. Like, he should say that. He should say that stupid black guy should be lynched because it's funny and it's cool.
Need to see those polls, Market.
Speaking of Casey,
All right, let's see. Let's jump back. Do we keep going? We need to get some calls.
And about some of the ills of America of days gone by.
The boomer wanted to make sure everybody else was okay first. And now the Zoomers are like,
all right,
I want to make sure
Here,
I'm
let me
okay.
All right, you go.
let me
Which
take the
is
wheel and I'll see if I
good.
can find one. Real
That's how it
quick.
should be.
Well, I mean,
Americans should look out
This
for
is
Americans. You should look out for
people or group or entity that with whom we are speaking, do they have the ability to command what is ever left of the regime? Those are questions we don't have answers to.
Oh.
I'm hoping that our negotiating team has a good idea as to whether or not that this people.
so this.
we kind of like that about him. But here we are, 39 days, and we have an 8 p.m. What time did the apprentice come on?
Who is
So-
the state chair? McKissick?
yeah.
That call was crazy, dog. We'd have to
Dude,
find
I can find that one. I can find that one. So this guy, real quick.
It's almost like that's what we're waiting on.
I think it was 9 Eastern when it came on.
Up. I don't think anyone should doubt President Trump at this point. He's kind of said his word. I mean, yes, the deadlines do.
That's Eben Brown, who is a Fox News radio reporter, and he's talking about the war in Iran. And he Jew, by the way. He's a good guy, but Jew. And oh baby, was he making it where he goes, well, everything is fine, and we should really put our faith in Donald Trump.
Ken did try to trip him up one time,
Yeah.
maybe twice in that phone call, and he tried to skirt out of it.
It wasn't really an eventful phone call, but it was like, it was one of those things where me and Ken gave each other the side eye, like, really unbiased reporting there,
Yeah,
was
very,
split,
very.
So Thursday is yesterday. Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this archived edition of the Wake Up.
That I don't believe this president's willing to take. What say you?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it's I don't.
Yeah,
think
back it up a
that
little
we're-
bit. So this is Drew
I would say
McKissick,
it's perfectly-
which is the SC GOP chair for, I guess, SC, South Carolina GOP chairman. And I can't remember what specifically. We'll listen to it, but I was like, this guy is just running cover hard. Like, these people are just lying through their teeth. You think it's just Donald Trump lying about the Iran war? Oh, we won. They have no air defense. Oh, shit, our planes just got shot out of the sky. Like, Trump isn't the only one. This is all the way down to now the state chair, and then even beyond that to the reporters, the media, right? This is the eighth front, and which we've talked about many times on our show. It's bad. It's bad. Whatever this corruption is throughout the system. And I put out a telegram the other day saying that, I usually say that it's not the system, it's the people within the system. And I've finally come to the position that it is also the system. And so the only way to fix the system is to essentially destroy the system. Fix.
Legitimate to pressure, to call up our congressional delegation of senators and say, but on the other hand,
good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Better late than never.
Yeah, better late than never. We appreciate you making the extra effort. And then things come up, and we certainly understand that. I mean,
we did. I texted Atlas earlier. Rewind to like the 5 minute mark, maybe 6 minute mark on this episode, Atlas, and I lay out what I wanted you to make. I'm asking Atlas to make a video. This is me calling it a favor for Mark Lynch, and I can give you I'll call you after this episode and give you some behind the scenes ball.
Is Trumpy Bear Armageddon new? Like today new?
No, not today new.
Okay. I don't recognize him.
All right. This is SCGOP chair.
But we never do it like we think we are. At 6, it looks one way. At 10, we look back and say, wow, that didn't go like we thought it would.
We had a plan.
Yeah, we had a plan. But anyway, Drew, what do you make of, and I mean, full disclosure, I disagreed with the president's decision, but I support the troops. I mean, I know that's a delicate balance, and you're kind of talking out both sides of your mouth to some degree. But it looks to me like, and I said an hour ago, and I want to get your take on this, America has the military horsepower for regime change. We have the military horsepower to recover the enriched uranium. We could secure the Strait of Hormuz in probably 10 days, but it includes risk that I don't believe this president is willing to take. What say you?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I don't think that there's a question as to what the president wants to happen and what the goals are, where they would like to go, what they would like to see this look like after it's over. It's a question of how long it takes to get there, what the potential risks are in the different things that you would do or potentially do in trying to get there. And that, involves in some cases time and, letting some things play out a little longer.
Oh, we asked about midterms.
Chessboard in place.
No.
And, of course,
he asked, yes, but he asked about like how to get, he asked, is the situation in Israel and Iran alienating young voters? And what do we do about it as the GOP? And his response, like, when the Iran war broke out, you're like, Josh, why aren't you like mad? Like I looked at Ken like, yo, you hear this nigga? That's crazy.
Type of forces into the area. And now you've had time has allowed us to get more of the neighboring countries in that part of the world on board with our effort there. I mean, just don't forget. I mean, we have so much stuff happen in a short period of time. Sometimes we forget about the things that have happened or sometimes don't see the import of it in the big picture. But, I mean, this is tremendous that you would have Arab countries essentially siding with Israel against not another Arab country, that's a Persian country, but another, majority Islamic country. Of course, they've been essentially enemies of Persians for, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, if not longer, I think, yes, I think he doesn't want to risk the things that he doesn't need to risk, and he wants to try to get there in as safe is not the right word, but, as productive of a situation as we possibly can. And I think you have to give him a little bit of time to do that. As far as Iran and their side of the equation, I mean, they've been claiming that they own the Straits of Hormuz basically ever since, this theocracy went into place over there almost 50 years ago. But, don't forget that the UAE controls just as much of the Persian Gulf as far as close to it in terms of territory as they do, at least
bear
the
with us.
Strait of Hormuz anyway, not the Persian Gulf entirely, but as far as the Strait, absolutely. So, as a matter of fact, some of those islands that you have there that are in the Strait, which in my opinion, those are, I think, the ones to watch because those are militarily strategic in terms of controlling access to that strait. For all the talk we've had about Carg Island, I think those are the ones to keep your eye on, but actually might end up being the targets of Marines before it's over, just to make sure that people can't use those islands to threaten shipping. I don't think there's any way in the world that anybody is about to agree that they have control of the strait, that they're entitled to it, and that we're going to give them entitlement to it. I mean, this is about free shipping and the right of free passage the world over. You give up on this, well, then you're giving up to China over in the Taiwan Straits and blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's no way that that's going to happen here.
Drew, it seems to me And once again, a lot of this is polled, but some of it's gut and instinct, and that's all I've ever had as a recovering politician. But it looks to me like Netanyahu is hurting the Israeli-American relationship with young voters more than he's helping. Young conservatives are highly suspicious, not of the relationship America has with Israel, but what Netanyahu's overzealous motivations may or may not be. Is that fair criticism?
Yeah, I don't know if he's hurting relations with them so much as some of them are hurting relations with Israel or the rest of the conservative movement in this country. I mean, there are some younger folks out there who, quite frankly, don't have, and let's just call it what it is, a grasp of history. I mean, my goodness. I mean, we certainly don't teach history the way we used to in this country. That's for sure.
Did you hear that?
In this case, I'm not even talking about ancient history.
Here, let me slow him down.
I'm talking about recent history.
Go back.
And what's been.
And once again, a lot of this is polled, but some of it's gut and instinct, and that's all I've ever had as a recovering politician. But it looks to me like Netanyahu is hurting the Israeli-American relationship with young voters more than he's helping. Young conservatives are highly suspicious, not of the relationship America has with Israel, but what Netanyahu's overzealous motivations may or may not be. Is that
Pause
fair
it real
criticism?
quick. So I've worked for Ken for 3 years. I know him pretty well. That was his attempt to throw Drew a bone and say, I'm not what I want to be clear. What I'm not saying is that young people are skeptical of Israel. They are, but I'm not saying, this is what he's saying. I'm not saying that young people are skeptical of Israel, but they're not happy with what Netanyahu is doing. He's pinning it on Netanyahu. And that was his olive branch to Drew to be like, here is the least fiery, controversial way that you can engage with this question of young people not being on board with our relationship with Israel. So that was him trying to get the best.
That's exactly it. And that's the play. That's the same play that everyone is making right now. And I've established this on my show many, many times, is that it's Operation Blame Bibi. That's what all of this boils down to. And we talked about this before.
Sure.
We talked about this for like the last, I don't know, year almost probably. It's Operation Blame Bibi. Lay it all at the feet of Bibi and then swing them around your head when this is all over and it's poof, it's all gone, sins forgiven.
Well, and I 100% agree, but that's not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that what he's saying is
I'm just saying that's the default.
Yes. He's trying to make this pill, the Republican pill that they have to swallow if young people aren't on board with Israel. He's like, look, I want us to win. We can't abandon the young people. How do we do it?
Well, Drew has to know. He has to know what's going on. And so his refusal to even acknowledge this, we'll let him go ahead and play it. His refusal to acknowledge this is an admission that even the state parties are completely bought.
This is my thing is, you say Drew has to know this. I don't think he does.
Yeah, he does, dude.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't know the statistics. But what I mean when I say he doesn't know it is, I mentioned this in another clip later, but I don't have the timestamp for that one, so I'll just say it now. This is when I was trying to explain to Ken earlier in the week of why I don't vote. He couldn't understand it. And I know you kind of don't agree with me on this, but my point is it's like, yeah, but you understand it. Like the Dignidad Act.
Yeah.
Like, why vote for Republicans when that's when we get the boomer conservatives who Drew represents? They're resentful that the demographics that they rely on have demands. Their whole political upbringing was, how do we get the nigs on board? How do we get the beaners on board with the white people?
Well,
but now the white people
election too.
Yeah, but now the white people are saying, "What the fuck, man? Where's my stuff?" And they're like, "Fuck you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to vote for me." So Ken goes, "Well, maybe they have a point, but here's the here's the peanut butter with the pill. Here is an entire Peter Pan Jif bucket of peanut butter with a little tiny pill in there that you have to swallow. What do you do? And he literally says, my concern is that the young people are alienating Israel.
Is that what he says here?
Yeah, play it right now.
Yeah, I don't know if he's hurting relations with them so much as some of them are hurting relations with Israel or the rest of it.
That is what the GOP gives a shit about. So what he just said is that the Israel lobby plays both sides. And my concern is if the conservatives are Nazis, they're going to scare off the Israel lobby. This is what the GOP is about.
God forbid Americans alienate Israel. Israelis specifically. That's crazy take, dude.
Conservative.
Me and Ken,
we like some younger folks.
Like so you're like where Ken is, you know, like you've seen the studio layout. I face this way, he faces like towards me.
Mm-hmm.
I went like, and he had to like he was kind of like, damn.
Do you think
we went to break and I was like, did you hear that? And he was like, that was crazy.
Do you think these conversations are waking him up to your position or our position a little more? And do you think they'll stand?
I think he's ankle deep in the pool, but he'll never go in the deep end. You know what I mean?
Okay.
The other boomers are in the lawn chairs, but he's at least in the pool.
A grasp of history. I mean, my goodness. I mean, we certainly don't teach history the way we used to in this country. That's for sure. And in this case, I'm not even talking about ancient history. I'm talking about recent history and what's been going on there for the last since Israel became a nation, and just before that, and then working through that all the way up to today, and the situation they've been in, the situation they are in. They live on a little tiny postage stamp of a world, and they're surrounded and have been throughout most of their history by people who hate them, who have openly and avowedly said they want to, kill them, push them off into the sea.
We can stop it there because you've heard everything else. Like it, and honestly, I can't listen to it again. For a month now, every Tom, Dick, and Jane has called into the show and goes, "This young whippersnapper Josh, does he know that they had hostages? Does he know that I saw things?" He goes, literally. I won't say who, but like a caller calls in and he goes, "Josh, you weren't alive when this happened." And I go, "When what happened?" "Oh, the hostages? What, were you there? Or did you watch it on TV?" The
TV conversation was crazy too, dude. Didn't one of them allude to a movie or a Netflix series? They were talking about Nuremberg on Netflix.
That was Ken.
What are we doing, dog?
Ken was
my TV show was more right than your TV show.
Well, Ken, he did, because I think I know what you were kind of getting at. This one guy called in a few weeks ago, and he was like really going hard with like, I know what's going on. And he goes like, well, what makes you the authority? And like, so you were 14 when Israel and Iran did this, that, and the third. Like, what in your opinion has changed? And he is like, why is your take on the matter, just because you were alive when it happened, make it like an expert opinion? And he goes, well, I was relying on reliable sources that we don't have anymore. So what, like Walter Cronkite, like, so literally TV, man.
Literally TV,
when we
man.
had one TV channel, we knew who to trust. But now that there's more, these kids, they're all bent out of shape, man. The spiritual successor to Walter Cronkite told me that these kids are getting indoctrinated by Cutter because they're on their damn phones all day.
Let's see if we can find a phone call, dude.
Okay, go to, I would say, go to Wednesday.
Hey.
Yeah, try that.
Thanks for checking out this archived edition.
Yeah.
World, got to try to get along.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah,
Rewind
that's Breeze. You know Breeze?
Termination of all
Can I grab a water?
International Atomic Energy Association Board of Governors resolutions, payment or compensation for damages
Over
to
there?
Iran.
You know, I'm,
So they're asking
damn.
for reparations, I guess, for war losses.
Struggling.
And some of the construction costs, reconstruction
Just work up a
costs,
spit and
withdrawal of
swallow it.
U.S. combat forces from the region, and cessation of war on all fronts, including Lebanon. Does that sound significant but not good enough? It sounds everything we went to war over. And that's what they're asking as concessions in this 10-point plan.
Oh, thank you. I got a question.
I got an answer.
Did Iran bomb Israel first after the ceasefire? Like sorry.
Which one?
I'm sorry. Did Lebanon attack Israel first after the ceasefire was declared by Trump?
I don't know, but I don't think so.
Because everything I've heard, day of especially, and I haven't seen anything about it since, says no.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know specifically, but the way it was played as Lebanon was not included in the ceasefire would lend to the idea that Lebanon didn't bomb first, someone else did. Israel.
Well, and that's my point, is because
otherwise they would say Lebanon was included, but they violated the ceasefire.
We had 5 people call in and say that Lebanon attacked Israel after the ceasefire was in place first, and I literally couldn't find anything to back that up. But 5 people called in and said the exact same thing. So I was like, someone must be saying
they're
this.
botting your call line now.
Probably.
Am I delusional? Is Trump genuinely playing 7D chess and it's just so far above my pay grade I can't comprehend? Or am I missing something? Let's go to the phone.
Hey, Breeze, good morning. You're on.
Well, I think he's giving them a chance to either prove to the world that they're the fools that we all think they are, or either giving them a chance to come back into, be part of the, live in this world and got to try to get along.
I'm going to be honest. I can't understand it now.
It sounds so bad here.
I can't understand it. I understood him when it was live.
Why does it sound like that?
I have no idea.
But I tell you, kid, I don't know if you've been really fair about some of the things you've been saying here. I mean, so if we had if July 4th, Iran had a parade down the middle of the street with their 10 atomic bombs, would you be saying, here's Trump's exact words, we will not allow Iran to have an atomic bomb? You know, and one of the things you keep saying is Trump said, well, there will not be any foreign wars. I believe that it may be with the asterisk, we'll not have any foreign wars except if Iran creates an atomic bomb. And I think that Trump would argue with you right now, provided, kid, and I'm on board with you on a lot of this, provided that he didn't put any boots on the ground. In his mind, he goes, well, this isn't a foreign war. He goes, if it is over today, and I don't think it will be, I think we'll have to come back. But if it is over today, would we consider this 41 days or whatever it is a foreign war, or would it be considered nothing more than what Bill Clinton did in Kosovo and all of the times that Barack Obama was shooting all of his cruise missiles? So I don't know.
All right. The point that he is so eloquently getting to,
he's still talking. I just sped it up like 3 more minutes. Hold on.
I don't think, according to
Still
Ron,
talking.
Oh, dude, he goes
3-7. To me,
on.
Breeze.
All right, go ahead.
And I like Breeze. He's a cool dude. I've met him in real life. He owns a gym. I've gone to his gym and we've worked out. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
But he's
not a caller. He doesn't need to call in all the time.
No. And
here, let's see what Ken says.
The people who are supporting the war says if you do nothing, you will cease to exist as a country. That's fear mongering on behalf of
When did Jim call in?
We were I can show you.
Okay, go ahead.
But the point with Breeze here, real quick, is you just heard the mental gymnastics at play there to get how well.
I mean, I couldn't even follow.
What he said was,
one, it was hard to hear. Two, when I was able to hear it, I couldn't follow the thought process.
What the point he was trying to get across was, Trump said no foreign wars, but he also said Iran can't have a nuke. So he's not breaking his promise of no foreign wars, because the condition of no foreign wars was unless Iran gets a nuke. That's essentially what he was trying to say.
I could do the reverse also.
Well, exactly. It's like Breeze is really wrestling with. He's not even wrestling with himself. He's wrestling with Ken, because he is one of these like 2001 glass the whole sand inward country. You know, that's his take. Radical Islam. I texted him the other day and I was like, it was kind of funny because apparently I don't know if it's even real, but like apparently Japan passed something where they're banning it, like Islam in the open practice of Islam. And I sent that to him and I was like, full disclosure, I'm not like pro-Islam. I fully support this in America. I would just also extend it to synagogues. And he goes, probably me too. So Jim and Florence.
Thanks for checking out this archived edition.
What was that?
Hey, really? I mean, he hosts a conservative radio show and don't know much about him. I mean, that's a mistake. From the 11th to the 15th century.
Every camel had his huge bundles of out.
Because right
Jim
after
calling that
Desert
light?
Storm, my unit alone turned in.
No, I mean, I hardly ever think of Iran. I think of a lot.
You got no major arrest and all these.
No, I mean, I hardly ever think of Iran. I think of a lot now because we're at war with Iran. But I think of fentanyl making its way across the border.
You know what I think about?
Real quick.
I think about that $94 worth of gas I put in my truck this morning. That's what I think about, dude. You know what I think about? I think about a $25 steak. That's what I think about. A little cheap $25 steak.
Hell yeah, man. So you know the caller Mike from Darlington.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a little inside baseball. Y'all don't have to worry about it. But I brought up, I was like, why should Donald Trump not pack the court? Why should he not? Give me a reason why he should not do that before he leaves office. Why not pack the court with a bunch of hard right Trump, and I was saying this to them. Because Trump loyalists these days, it doesn't carry a lot of weight for us. But like, why wouldn't you support that? And Mike from Darlington calls in and he goes, that's like barbaric. And he's like, let me guess, you probably don't want women to vote. And you're like, you're going to go past the age of enlightenment. I was dying laughing in the studio. But anyway.
JR says, I'm waiting to hear Zeb call in and tell old Ken what deconverted from Boomer Zionism. I'm quasi pseudo blacklisted from calling in, so there's that.
I told Zeb he should call in, but he has to call in under a fake name.
Yeah, I'd have to call in pseudonym. I'd put on a full thick Yankee accent. I'll go Boston.
Do an accent.
I'll go Australia. We'll do Australia.
Crikey, these Jeeps is stealing all the jewels.
Yeah. I'd have to practice. I got to practice that one. I can't be giving away all my secrets. Then they'll know, dude. Then they'll know. I feel like if we did it, Josh would tell anyway. So,
no.
Maybe after the
call.
I
I wouldn't rat you out.
Yeah, you would.
I wouldn't rat you out.
Would.
No.
Illegals that may break into my home or not. Somebody sent me something yesterday about CDL drivers getting talking about foreigners getting a license to drive a heavy truck. And our government pays for it. I mean, it was like $1,850. The person was on trial for an accident. They don't speak very much English. They're not a citizen of the United States, but they have a CDL license.
ZebBoykin.
Yeah, that.
Why is that so funny?
Because it sounds like some half-assed Star Wars character.
Why is that so funny, dude?
That is good. Oh, man. You, sir, have won the internet.
Let's get this one.
Part of the interrogation, the question a lawyer asked is, how'd you get your CDLs? And he said, a government program. What do you mean a government program? And he explained the program and how much it cost him. You have to pay for it? No, the government paid for it. So we've got our federal government paying for foreigners to get CDL licenses. So I guess they can compete with fellow Americans for jobs as truck drivers. But we're in a quagmire in Iran, worried about whether or not we declare the most vicious attack mankind has ever seen at 8 o'clock tonight. That's my frustration. That's why I feel betrayed. I genuinely believed that the MAGA movement was going to be hyper-focused on the issues here at home, and it's hard to say it is when we're 39 days into a war and gas is $3.89 heading north. Let's go to
at this point, I don't know. Anyone saying that they haven't been betrayed by MAGA is delusional. Like, I get supporting Trump and saying, yeah, he might be doing what he thinks he's supposed to be doing, but saying that you weren't betrayed, or saying that he's doing what he campaigned on, or saying that you supported this back then is just like, it's not even cope anymore. I don't even know what it is. It's something beyond that. Give me a term.
And then we'll take our last break of the day.
Jim in Florence. Good morning, Jim.
Hey, good morning. Ken, can we go all the way back to your conversation with Josh this morning about where his age group goes since they kind of feel betrayed? And it really, the conversation really exemplified the generational issue, because the response to Josh when he didn't really say it, but was, do we vote for these Republicans? The response from you all was not, to pander to the things that Josh's generation wants, but to kind of scoff at him and like, what are you going to do? Vote for the Democrats who want to trans the kids? Boomer Republicans have constantly pandered to Hispanics, blacks, women, Indians, big business with illegal immigration and legal immigration. You got Greg Abbott handing Texas over to the Indians. You've got, H-1B still going crazy. You've got Chinese student visas up. You've got 50-year mortgages suggested. You got 20 Republicans now suggesting or pushing a amnesty bill with the Dignity Act. You got no major arrest in all these cases that were suggested during the campaign. No SAVE Act. You got all this fraud going on. The stats just came out that once again, foreign-born are getting the jobs, not Americans. It looks like the Supreme Court, Republican appointee Supreme Court members are going to tell us that Chinese babies are just as American as we are. I could go on and on and on with what the Republican Party is not doing for Josh's generation. And the only response is not, hey, let's not to figure out how to get Josh back. It's to wag your finger at Josh. So I say all that to say this. Stop pandering to everybody else, and for once, pander to us. Thank you, Kevin.
But who is us? I'm sorry, Jim. Who is us?
Who's us?
Yeah,
the Americans.
Can I jump in for a second? Is your generation the blameless generation? I hear a lot.
And there it is.
They can't make it in 2 seconds. They can't make it. As soon as he finishes, he lays all this out, detail by detail. It gets to the end of it. Jim says, yeah, you don't actually look at what the problems are. You just point your finger and wag. And so Jim finishes his thought. And then what happens, Josh? He gets a finger wagging.
Now, it's frustrating because I know there's some truth in how Ken feels about that, but that whole day he was bashing the boomers, and then Jim calls in and goes hard against him. And it was a little bit of, well, I got to defend him now a little bit.
Little rubber band, dude. It's always a rubber band.
Yeah.
Though.
Now, he's wrong. And to me, it's like you talk about how we're entertainers. I think there's a difference between being entertaining and just like being
lashing
wrong,
out,
you know, being wrong.
Yeah.
Like you can,
it's a crash
you can
out.
play things up, but don't be like what I'm saying is he played it up, but there's some truth in it, which is frustrating.
That from you and Josh, that everybody else has screwed everything else up. But if you'd only do what our generation needs done, the world will be a better place. I don't know any generation that is blameless.
He also didn't say our generation. He said us. And then he asked who is us, and then he didn't allow him to answer. He said Americans, but he just essentially denied the answer.
A lot of people in your generation that don't want to work. I know a lot of people in your generation that, I mean, we talk about work ethic on this show, and it's not that I'm saying it. Your generation has said that work is not anywhere near as important as the boomers say, or the greatest generation say, or any other generation.
Dude, it's always the same thing. It's like, oh, you don't work that hard. It's like, dude, all of the details applied to this one little wave top that you like to throw around. Like, that's all they have. Your generation will like to work.
I mean, once again, I'm not saying that. You are saying that as a generation.
One, that's a survey. It's not an actual study to say what is, what people say and then what people.
Well, I mean, I'll say this as a businessman: younger people don't have anywhere near the work ethic that the generation that I grew up with do. I tell my daughter and sons all the time: be on time and work hard, and you'll lap the field.
What's the demographics separation of those two generations, Ken? Are they actual Americans?
Not the case when Rev and I grew up. I mean, I don't know why. I'm not defending my generation. I mean, I beat up on boomers.
I don't know why. Fuck it. I ain't going to try and figure out, but I don't know why. I got somebody telling me why, but I ain't going to ask and try and figure it out. I just don't know, and I'm going to stay I don't know. Blissfully ignorant.
What did Atlas say? He had something in the comments a second ago. Bonnie Blue, just exactly.
Here on the show, but there's some sentiment amongst your generation that everything wrong with the world is everybody else's problem but ours, and we've done nothing to contribute to any of that.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know how you could have been born in that. I mean, I wasn't born in the 90s, but I don't know how you can be born in the 90s and then look around at what you were handed and not be incredibly cynical. I mean, did you see the video that came out that the Boston Red Sox posted that they had to shut the comments down on about the first day? And it was,
you know what that is?
Free Hart-Celler Act.
Fenway Park posted a tweet of a video from, I believe it was 1980, and it was demographically pure. And they shut the comment section down within minutes.
Why?
Absolutely crushed across the board with people. There were foreigners coming in saying this is AI. That's how white it was. Fenway Park was. That they posted. It was a video from 1980.
Damn.
In Boston. They shut the comment section down because everybody's racist or something. Because we want America to look like America.
So that again, it was what now?
It was pre-Hart-Celler Act, the 1964 Immigration Act or whatever that basically destroyed, one of the aspects that destroyed America.
I don't think it was,
that early. I just implore anybody to go look.
I mean, I think, Jim, I think America's in decline, but I don't think my generation has destroyed America. Your generation
Wrong.
believes that. I think America is in decline. I mean, I've said that over and over and over again, but I don't think America is a failed nation.
Well, it's going to be.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, I think decline leads to absolute failure.
And so, I mean, we've got.
Oh, it's from the 50s.
See, this is
issues.
It's a video from the 50s.
Oh, the 50s.
How can I zoom in? How close can I zoom in? I don't feel like texting it to myself. All right, you ready, chat? Boom, bang, pow. It's basically just a video of I need to cut my fingernails. Anyway, it's all white people essentially. And so like some of the first comments are America of the past is unrecognizable when compared to today. Sad. Dear God, this is heartbreaking. What have we done to our civilization since the 1960s Cultural Revolution? What a beautiful city and crowd. This world no longer exists. It was willfully destroyed. I mean, those people quote tweeting it saying this is AI, delete this or something like that. Like people don't. Wow, I'm huge on screen. People don't actually believe that America used to be American. Like that's like it's so far gone. It feels like a fantasy world, Josh.
I know, and like everything, like they're hog washing history. Like like you said, they're talking about how like that has to be AI because there's no Jeets in Fenway Park in the 1950s.
You know, of course, we've got to address the economic issues, but you can always address economic issues. You can't always address immigration.
Totally agree.
Because, immigration, demographics is destiny, and we're not addressing them. And what I'm really afraid of, Ken.
So pause real quick.
When
Jim is really well read, he's really, really well informed, and he knows his stuff. Ken is a skilled politician. And I've seen him do this many times. He's done it with me a lot. He's an expert at like bobbing and weaving the conversation and dangling things in front of you that are completely irrelevant. And you can see it like Jim, like you stammer once and then you look like the idiot. You know what I mean? And I don't think Jim looks like an idiot, but like to someone who's on the fence or antagonistic, they go, there you go. Because Kent goes, oh, you think your generation just zoop, going this way, that way, all over the place.
they come down with this 14th Amendment ruling that I think they're going to come down with, and everybody else thinks they're going to come down with.
They are.
That's going to be the end, and then we're going to have the calm before the storm. That's my prediction on that, because at that point, citizenship doesn't matter. And
I wish I could disagree with you, but I can't. I think you nailed that. And I've said over there, I mean, thank you for the call, Jim. We got to take a break. Don't want to get too far behind here. I've confessed over this air that, to me, debt was by far the most important issue facing America and its future. I've evolved. Immigration is a rival to debt, and how we treat, I'll say, heritage Americans and Americans in general compared to how we treat
we covered it all.
People who immigrate to our country and don't assimilate but take advantage. I think that is an absolute hot button issue in America today. Take a break. We'll be back in just a few. Back 843-661.
Almost gave him the full number. I
didn't even think about that. Yeah. Behave yourselves.
All right, chat. I mean, we covered a good bit today, and it took us a little bit to get into some of the calls, some of the stuff that's going on, I guess, locally, you know, what kind of dismay MAGA is in. I mean, you have, they're really all over the place, but a lot of them are just going to continually defend Donald Trump. They had it wasn't a debate last night. What was it? It was
Russell Fry.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a debate. There was
It was a debate, but they called it a forum.
Forum.
You know, yeah, it was.
They had a forum last night, and it was like, you know, how much did you suck Trump's dick last election? What was your favorite policy about Donald Trump the last year? And so that's all this Republican establishment stuff is going to do. It's just one big massive snowball of riding Donald Trump's coattails. I talked about that on Rodney's show this morning or this afternoon. And so that's what we have to deal with essentially, is breaking through, however that it manifests itself, breaking through this boomer mindset of young people don't want to work, young people don't want to work, young people don't want to work, we're blameless. So that's essentially where we're at. To be honest, calling into the radio show isn't doing it. Yelling at the camera isn't doing it. I don't know what does do it. Time, Josh. But we don't have time. So
Nick,
I'm tired.
Nick said something the other night. He goes, "What do you think's going to happen if there's like a blackout? It's going to be Planet of the Apes in the streets. Like they're going to be going door to door." But the truth is, down here, we might be better off after the lights come back on. I know you'll be safe.
Probably.
All the boomers will be dead. You and I won't be. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna let's not get ourselves in trouble tonight, Josh.
Self-defense when the chimps come a chimping. So what are we doing? Am I doing the outro? Or are you doing the outro? Thank you for joining this rare edition of Outside the Overton late night. I had fun, dude. 2 hours.
Oh, real quick. New show Sunday. New show with Foul Ball Productions. Going to be Sunday, 9:00. So we got Friday. You got Groyper Report tomorrow. Then you got Foul Ball Productions Sunday, which is going to be, I think it's. Let me not tell you wrong. Give me 1 second. He's going to be covering Dissident Right podcast for the week. So kind of like a little bit of a Groyper Report-esque Outside the Overton mix. He's going to call it Right Wing Pulse. So kind of in the same ballpark of what we're already doing. We're just adding another face, another voice to the Nav stuff. So y'all go check him out. Foul Ball Productions. Let him know that we sent you from Nav, and then show him some support when he comes on. That'll be Sunday at double check. It was 9 o'clock too. I want to say 9 o'clock.
Oh, PM?
7. Sunday night 7.
Okay.
Sunday nights at 7. I will post a link to the Nav Telegram before it goes live so that everybody can have access to it and show him some love. So we appreciate everybody for stopping by today. Appreciate all the super chats from Gasser, Skeletor, Mitchell Black. Y'all guys are carrying it for sure. And we appreciate the support. That money's going to go to something, I don't know, good is a word, but decent. Somewhere. It's going to go somewhere that is going to further the cause of bringing about the new. I'm still in the Joe Kent loading screen. Oh, from the live that we never did.
Yeah,
listen, man,
that was funny.
It's
That was
spring
good.
break, and this is the thing with Nav and trying to work with dual creators is this is the issue we have with the Nav channel is like everybody always has something going on. We're all living our own lives, and so it's spring break for me. I think Atlas is on spring break too. Maybe he's got some personal stuff, but it's like it has, like, the stars have to align to make this thing happen. And so, you know, it is what it is. Deal with it. Deal with it. Well, we will do the, we are going to do the Good Joe Kent episode eventually. I do need to give Atlas a call right now. So, we're going to close this out. Josh, finish it up.
This has been Outside the Overton. Thank you for watching. We had a great time. I'm good to do Tuesday if you are. We'll tentatively plan on doing it again this upcoming Tuesday. But until then, we'll see you guys then.
Had to get that one in there.
Nice.
Oh, wait. Zach asked about members. I'll make it up to the members on a member stream. I don't know what that'll look like, but yeah. We're going to do that eventually. Bye.
Good evening, everyone. I'm This tragedy strikes the LAPD. The coronavirus has taken the life of an officer. He had been fighting for his life since May. It was live outside St. John's Hospital on Tuesday night where the officer lost his life.
From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be America first. America first. And only America first. And I say, really, you know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist.